All right, thanks, Fish. Two suspects appeared in court on homicide charges for allegedly killing a man outside of a tavern in Fond du Lac. Jesse Schultz and Devin Newman were charged with being a party to murder. This after the body of Logan Foster was found across from the Press Box Tavern in a vacant parking lot back in September last year off Forest Avenue. In court, the two men had their bonds set at $1 million cash, no contact with each other or Foster's family.
Police in Two Rivers blame the death of a baby on child abuse. 22-year-old Matthew Brown Edwards is now behind bars for the death. Police were called to our North Side apartment last Wednesday. When they arrived, the infant had no pulse and was not breathing. They were able to resuscitate the baby, taking it to a hospital where it later died. Well, the government is open again this morning and hundreds of thousands of federal workers are heading back to work, but lawmakers still have a lot ahead of them. President Trump signed a short-term spending bill last night. It funds the government until February 8th. Congress has until then to pass a long-term deal. The president tweeted that the bill is a big win for Republicans and said Democrats caved.
No way the Democrats caved. I think the Democrats got a better deal than people expected.
President Trump's unwillingness to compromise caused the Trump shutdown and brought us to this moment. The facts are well known.
And Republican leaders say they want the president to have a more active role in immigration negotiations. After yesterday's Senate vote, the president met with Republican senators and two Democrats from Republican-controlled states to talk immigration. Now here in Wisconsin, the news to end the shutdown has thousands of employees headed back to their jobs soon.
NBC26's Eric Kress spoke with a professor about what this temporary shutdown ultimately tells us about our leaders in Washington.
TSA agents still made sure our airports were safe and Social Security checks continued to be issued. But in light of the first government shutdown in about 5 years, this act by government leaders really screams about the political divide here in America. Back in 2013, about 40% of the federal workforce was furloughed during the government shutdown. Now that act left thousands of federal employees in Wisconsin without work, without pay. Now, they were essentially the victims of the government's shortcomings on making a deal. We spoke to a political science expert from Northeast Wisconsin who says the divide between ideologies of Republicans and Democrats continues to grow.
And all of this reflects the political polarization of the whole nation. There's a lot of evidence that the people have become somewhat more divided. Democrats and Republicans see the world differently, have different sources of information, do not trust one another, do not like one another. And what we're seeing in Congress really is a kind of microcosm of the whole country.
Many political experts did predict it would only take a few days to reopen the federal government. Now, by doing so, both parties will avoid an onslaught of negative news regarding how the government shutdown really impacted Americans' lives. Keeping you connected, I'm Eric Kress with NBC26.
All right, thanks, Eric. Now, police in De Pere are investigating a new scam that aims to get access to people's cloud storage accounts. They say someone's Facebook was hacked, then the suspect asked friends of the victim for access to use their email accounts. Police say the suspect's main goal is to get photos from victims via their iCloud or Google Photos accounts.
What it looks like they're doing is they're targeting juvenile females, hoping that maybe there's some compromising photographs in those devices. If not, they've actually used some bribery, bribing them to and threatening them to get additional photos, additional information, and just trying to get what they can.
And officers also have some tips for you to protect yourself from this scam. Never provide passwords or access to personal accounts. Always use strong passwords and verify any info requests in person or on the phone. Well, still ahead, an adorable addition to the new zoo. More details about these super cute penguin chicks.
If you haven't learned how to ice skate yet, today would be a good day. We got very icy conditions and snow plows are clearing the roads.
All right, thanks for being with us this morning. You now have the chance to see the baby African penguins at the new zoo. Take a look. This chick is now 17 days old. Its activities range from eating and sleeping, and new zoo curators say the reason these guys were brought in is to expand the declining population of the African penguins. Artificial nests were created, and the chicks even have foster parents Doodle and Gilligan. Staff members say they're trying their best to mimic how their parents would feed them, and so far it's going well.
Their parents feed them regurgitated fish. the baby asks, just like this little guy's doing right here, basically puts its head up inside the parent's mouth, and the parent is then able to feed it. So I'm not willing to go quite that far to chew up fish, and so we blend up the formula and then use a syringe to feed the baby.
All right, and if you'd like to catch a glimpse, Carmen recommends stopping by at 11 a.m. during feeding time. Those staff members will try to feed the chicks in front of the window at the nutrition center. All right, we're now seeing some school closures for today due to the slippery road conditions.
Yeah, there's 3 so far here in northeast Wisconsin. Marinette schools are on a 2-hour delay. There is no AM 4K. And the same goes through the Peshtigo School District, along with no early childhood program. And the Wabeno School District is also on a 2-hour delay.
So this all makes sense. Farther to the north, that's where they saw the most snow, so they're doing the most cleanup. But we're not done with the wintry mix yet, but it's nothing like we saw yesterday, okay? So not that intense, but still outside. It's on the backside of a strong low pressure system, and you can see it here pulling its way away, but still on the backside of it, we do have, of course, just a little bit of a wintry mix. That's going to be working its way on through for part of the morning. It's not going to last all day like it was yesterday with the rain to the south and the snow to the north, but still you can see it here, kind of a break around the Fox Cities Green Bay, but there's a little bit more on the way. Now currently in the Fox Valley, 28 degrees, so all of us have dropped below freezing. Because of that, all the rain that we saw in the valley is freezing over, and we've seen a little bit of light snow and freezing drizzle. Winds out of the north 18. It's going to be a blustery day. So here's kind of the wider view. Here's that bit of a lull, but a little bit more of a wintry mix on the way. It's showing up as blue and white, but still I've been outside and I can see that there's a little bit of freezing drizzle embedded in this as well. So here's Fond du Lac, Sheboygan, Manitowoc, Calumet, Winnebago counties. Kind of that lull for a little bit of you. As far as Sheboygan, you're seeing just a bit more of this light snow, but there is more on the way towards Anago. Shawano right now seeing some light snow and freezing drizzle, so Green Bay, it's working our way as well. Skycast showing that. Here's a little bit of light snow here, that lull, then a little bit more going to rotate, pivot its way on through as we head through the morning. That moves on out of here in the late morning hours, and then a little bit of sunshine for you then for the rest of the day. Now, temperatures are key because I know a lot of you, especially south of 29, you saw that rain yesterday, and it's starting to freeze its way over. It's 28 Appleton, 27 Kewanee, Manitowoc. We got Green Bay at 28 degrees. To the north, you've seen more snow, that insulation over the ground. Bring down those temps. We got 20 degrees in Anago. Now, the wind chills, again, it's going to be blustery today, so we've got a wind chill of what feels like 14 in Green Bay, 15 in Manitowoc. Again, as you clean up off to the north, feels like 11 in Menominee. As far as satellite and radar, there goes that low pressure system. Still a little bit of lift on the backside of this, but eventually our weather quiets down for several days around here. Now Skycast, there we are on the backside of the low. Any sort of that wintry mix going to move on out. And then as we go through the afternoon, we're going to see a little bit of sunshine. As far as the nighttime hours here, we're going to keep it quiet as well. It's going to get a little bit chilly, but not as cold as we've been as parts of this winter. And then for tomorrow, increasing clouds during the day, but it looks like we should keep it quiet. So today, 30 degrees, that morning mix going to come to an end, otherwise blustery today. I think that's really what you're going to notice as we head through the afternoon. Now for tonight, increasing clouds, but see the temperatures getting a little bit cooler, but at least it's above 0, 8 degrees. And then for tomorrow, less wind. That is the key. 25 degrees should keep it quiet for the most part, partly to mostly cloudy. Thursday, 31. Look at the 40s coming back for Friday into Saturday. Very slight chances of a little bit of precip on Saturday and Monday. But those are a couple cool fronts rolling its way on through. But this morning, you guys, just watch it out there. We have some slippery spots with the rain that fell and froze over, and now a wintry mix of some freezing drizzle, light snow, but that ends as we head through the morning.
Definitely take it easy, especially on those sidewalks. It seems like those are a problem area.
Yeah, take it easy.
All right, still ahead, it's threatening parts of Japan. The latest on an active volcano as the rescue effort continues. Stay with us.
Well, thanks for being with us. We have another school delay to talk about this morning.
All right, the Okano School District is now on a 2-hour delay. Marinette, Peshtigo, and Wabeno schools are all also on a 2-hour delay. There's also no morning 4K or early childhood programs at Peshtigo, Marinette, and Okano schools. Be sure to keep following the bottom of your screen as more delays and closings are rolling through this morning.
And of course, we're continuing to track those wintry conditions. We have meteorologist Gino Recchia. He's live this morning in Kewanee.
And he's tracking a band of snow and sleet right now. He continues our team coverage.
Good morning, guys. Yes, right now in Kewanee, boy, the winds are really whipping out of the northeast, and right now the precipitation type is a light freezing drizzle. That's not good news, and it's one of the rare occasions where it's almost better to walk on the snowpack versus the sidewalks, because these sidewalks, we'll just take a look at it here, it is very, very icy. You could almost ice skate. Literally, you could ice skate. I mean, just look how I'm just moving, just sliding my legs. If you do not know how to dance like I do not know how to dance, great way to learn to do a little bit of some salsa, mango dancing. I don't even know what else. But what I do want to say is you got to be careful. The road crews, they've been doing an okay job. I just saw a couple plows come through. They have to put a very thick coating of salt because this mist can cause a lot of black ice, and it looks like they're doing a pretty good job and staying on top of the main roads. We drove here, we had no problems of any black ice, but these sidewalks, any untreated roads, that's what the issue is this morning. So be safe if you're planning on perhaps walking to work, or if you're just planning to do a little walk this morning. But right now, keeping you connected live in Kewaunee, meteorologist Gino Recchia will send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Gino, for that unique perspective on the icy sidewalks. Hopefully, Fish is doing better out on the weather deck this morning.
Are you dancing out there this morning, Fish?
I'm a better dancer than Gino. All right. No, it is. He's right. I do have a coating of ice here because remember, a lot of us south of 29, all it did was rain for the most part, and now it's frozen on over. Now, I'm in Green Bay. There is this little bit of a lull going on right now, but we're not quite done with that wintry precipitation. I do have off to the north and west, a little bit more on the way, but there's that lull also going through Winnebago County, parts of Fond du Lac and Green Lake, now getting closer to Green Bay. This is what I'm talking about, just a little bit more on the way. I know it looks a little bit more moderate, but it's not. I'm just watching a couple flurries here. And as this moves on out, things will improve as we head throughout the day. One thing that won't, though, you guys, we're going to keep around the blustery winds all day. So as you do clean up, at least your salt is going to work pretty well because the temperatures are okay. But we're not done. It's still, I'm watching these few flurries out here, but right now, looking out on 172, as far as the traffic, it's moving okay. Secondary streets probably not as good, but they're cleaning those up as we speak.
All right, thank you so much, Fish.
Yep.
All right, in Japan, at least one person is dead after a volcano eruption and avalanche. It happened at a ski resort northwest of Tokyo. The numbers are changing. The AP reports 9 are hurt, but the BBC says it's at least 14, including one person who's in critical condition. The BBB also reports a Japanese soldier was killed and that nearly 80 skiers are trapped on a hill. Police initially reported one person missing and then said that was not the case after all. All right, still to come, a community comes together to solve homelessness, and we take a closer look at one Oshkosh man doing just that. You're watching NBC 26 today. Thanks for being with us this morning. We're continuing our monthly series focusing on homelessness in Northeast Wisconsin.
This week, we'll meet a man from Oshkosh who was homeless but is now taking his experience to help his community. Our Emily Byer reports.
Miguel Cruz says he came to the Oshkosh area from Stevens Point to get a fresh start.
When I moved here, and so my sister opened up her doors and said that I could stay with her for a period of time. And she didn't kick me out. It was my choice to move out. I wanted to be on my own.
Out on his own, he found a place he believed he could call home.
Saw a good deal for a room. Somebody was renting a room, really good deal. But then sometimes good deals come with extra baggage, and it was uncomfortable. I didn't feel safe.
When it fell through, he says his faith helped guide him through the tough times.
I think I was just walking past and I stopped in. I didn't know what the place was. I thought it was a hotel.
Father Carr's place to be is many things to many people.
The organization focuses on helping the poor and provides multiple services as a food pantry, free health clinic, housing, and a faith-based learning to help those struggling to get by.
I felt like I was staying with family. Like they really cared for me, mentored. They showed me some of the resources in town that could help me get on my feet.
And the blessings, Miguel says, began to follow.
I mean, the bike only lasted for about a month before it broke, but it was a blessing to have that because it got me through 2 paychecks and started moving me towards getting my own place.
Miguel says he saved every penny he made working at a restaurant before getting back out on his own, but now he's focusing on helping others.
you know, he's just blossoming, and we just happened to be there at the right time, at the right place. And so he's special. He came back and did some physical fitness classes for us. He cuts the guys' haircuts.
That same dedication pouring over into a future career and business.
I basically quit and then started the business the same day.
Miguel started the Sample the City project.
Exclusively 100% locally owned businesses. And then we also raise money for local nonprofits.
Miguel says he hopes more awareness and funds collected with Sample the City can bring the same hope for someone experiencing homelessness.
Have faith, pray, and wake up early and do something good with your day.
In Oshkosh, Emily Beyer, NBC26.
And the books can be purchased at local businesses in Oshkosh. When you buy a book, half of the profits go towards charities in the community.
All right, we are getting reports, of course, of many delays around the area because of the cleanup probably going on. Anything that's falling as far as light snow or light freezing drizzle is light, so that's not really the main problem. But a lot of us, of course, saw that snow and then that mixed precipitation froze on over. So we're doing some cleanup with that, throwing down the salt. You notice this bit of a lull here through parts of the area, but still snowing lightly through parts of Manitowoc, Sheboygan, Fond du Lac counties. This lull right along 41, but we are seeing just a little bit more mixed precipitation. I did see a little bit of freezing drizzle out there before. Here's some light snow and freezing drizzle going right along 29. So we're not quite done with that mixed precipitation yet. Skycast showing that, but as we go through the morning hours, it's going to move on out of here. Then we're going to quiet things down besides the blustery winds and some sunshine for this afternoon. Current temps, again, with anything that was liquid on the ground, it's frozen over because now we're below freezing. Oshkosh 28, same with Green Bay. And I did say it's blustery out there. So you're going to have a wind chill. What feels like right now a 15 in Manitowoc, 20 in Shawano. We'll keep those wind chills down all day, but at least they'll be above zero. So that light wintry mix in spots this morning going to come to an end. Then a little bit of sunshine this afternoon going up to 30 degrees. Now, in the forecast over the next couple of days, we're eventually going to make it to 40. I'm going to let you know when that happens in our next half hour. Stay with us.
All right, thanks for being with us. Kind of a sketchy morning outside weather-wise.
Cold, snowy, kind of in some places.
Yeah, it's a wintry mix, and I don't think it's about really what's falling so much right now. It's about what happened yesterday. And then the temperatures have dropped back below freezing, so we've refrozen some of that water that's been on the ground. We're not quite done with the wintry mix of precipitation yet because we're just getting rid of this low, and on the back side of it, still some light wintry mix. It's not just snow. I'll get to that in a second. 28 degrees, so we've dropped the temperature below freezing. So those of you who saw that rain yesterday, it's freezing over. Look at the wind, 22 miles per hour. It is going to be blustery today. So here's a couple batches of light snow and a little bit of light freezing drizzle, and then just kind of a break in here. Let's start with the south. We got like Fond du Lac County, parts of Sheboygan, Manitowoc, some light snow and some light freezing drizzle. This bit of a lull, but we have a little bit more on the way from the north and west. Going right along 29 right now, 141. So just be aware of that as you head out the door, but eventually this is going to move its way on out as we head through the morning hours. Skycast showing it. There it goes. And then into the afternoon, the sun going to start to peek out, but it's still going to be blustery out there. So these temperatures back below freezing again. 26 Oconto, 27 Manitowoc, Kewaunee, and 28 in Oshkosh. With wind chills, we're going to have this all day, but at least they'll be above zero for the most part. 13, that's what it feels like in Appleton, and 14 in Green Bay. So the rest of your day, that light wintry mix this morning in spots going to come to an end. Then a dry afternoon with a little bit of sunshine, high of 30 degrees. Guys, I'm going to let you know exactly when we start to see 40-degree temperatures in the forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Fish. Now let's take a look at those road conditions right now. Here's a live look at the DOT's winter road conditions map.
Now, as you can see, northeast Wisconsin is seeing the colors red, blue, and pink across this map here. In Door County, you're seeing that red, which means those roads, Highway 57 and 42, are ice covered at this time. From Green Bay all the way down through Appleton, Oshkosh, Fond du Lac on Highway 41 there, those are listed as pink, which means those are slippery stretches. And the rest of northeast Wisconsin is listed as blue, which means those major highways are snow covered. There is no green on this map, which would signify good winter driving.
And our meteorologist Gino Recchia has spent the morning in Kewaunee.
Yeah, he's tracking a band of snow and sleet right now, and he continues our live team coverage.
Good morning, guys. Yes, just outside of downtown Kewaunee. And if I had a kite that was attached to me, I would be sliding away. Now you're asking, why would I be sliding away? It's because of this black ice, this thin glaze of ice right down here. Now, this mostly occurred late last night, and now temperatures have fallen. We had a little bit of a light mist, some rain that froze on the sidewalks, also the tree limbs. Now, it's a good thing that we don't have a lot of ice accumulation because these winds, I don't know if you can even pick it up on the microphone, they're howling out of the northeast between 15 to 25 miles per hour, and we got gusts as much as 30. So if we had an ice storm with these wind gusts, those tree limbs would come down crashing on power lines and we'd have power outages. But if you heard already, we do have some school delays, and part of the reason why is because of this thin glaze of ice. Road crews, they're trying to do their best, but right now they have been impacting the main roadways. Main roadways, they're fine, but the side streets, the sidewalks, that is where the salt still needs to be applied. So be careful, be safe this morning, but keeping you connected and live in Kewaunee, meteorologist Gino Recchia will send it back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you so much, Gino. And with what he just said, for those of you who have to head out on the ice this morning, drive slow and be defensive. If you do happen to go into the ditch, stay in your car and call 911 for help. AAA also recommends putting together an emergency kit for your car. They also suggest topping off your fluids, check your windshield wipers, and always watch out for brake lights in icy conditions. All right, let's go now to our Emily Beyer. She is in Marinette County.
And she's continuing our team coverage. Emily, how's it going out there?
Hey guys, good morning everyone. We are just off the highway here, I-41, just off the Peshtigo exit. Now you can see here we're on a road which a lot of people use to travel out to the highway. This is what we're standing on right now is Dolan Avenue, and this is French Street, which they're traveling towards the highway. And now we're off on this side road here, and you can see this is complete ice. The main road wasn't too bad. I know just on the drive up here, it was a little rough. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little rough. We were kind of driving on one side, which was had some icy patches, and the other side was completely snow covered, so you do got to watch for that. Again, their plows are out right now. They're working to get everything salted, but there are some areas that are still pretty slick, so you definitely need to watch for that. Fish, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Emily. And if you notice behind her, there was a lot more snow than the Fox Cities, where currently in the Fox Cities, it's 27 degrees, so that's below freezing. So all of that liquid that fell yesterday, and mainly the form of rain, is now frozen over. Now we're seeing a light wintry mix of some light snow, some patchy freezing drizzle, but there's kind of a lull even towards Appleton, but you see another batch of some light snow and some light freezing drizzle working its way on in. Here's a look farther to the north with some light snow. Now, none of this is heavy, but it's still just enough as we try to clean things up to just throw that light glaze down again of maybe some light ice or some light snow. But the salt is going to work okay because of the temperatures. I'll get to that in a second. But Skycast showing that batch of precipitation slowly moving on out of here as the morning moves on. Any accumulation now should be fairly light. And on the back side of this, we'll watch as we go into the afternoon. Here comes the sun again. So current temps, we got 28 in Oshkosh. Everybody now is below freezing, and that's a lot of you who saw mainly rain yesterday. So that's been freezing on over. With wind chills, as you go to throw down some salt this morning, feels like 13 Appleton and 14 in Green Bay. So your high temperature, 30 degrees, that morning wintry mix coming to an end, and then a little bit of sunshine for you guys. I'm going to let you know when we're going to do some melting around here coming up.
All right, thanks, Fish. Well, in other news this morning, the federal government shutdown is over.
Lawmakers in Washington are working out a deal for now, setting up another deadline in 3 weeks. Tracy Potts has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Brooke and Shane, we now have a new deadline of February 8th to deal with the budget and keep the government open. The president made that official overnight while tweeting that Democrats caved and he plans to work on the military and border security. With the stroke of the president's pen, the federal government reopens today with a 3-week budget for now and a commitment to finding a solution for Dreamers next month.
This immigration debate will have a level playing field at the outset and an amendment process that is fair to all sides.
What changed? Democrats decided to trust a Republican promise.
While this procedure will not satisfy everyone on both sides, it's a way forward.
The yeas are 81, the nays are 18.
But nearly 24 Democrats voted no, skeptical the DACA immigration deal will happen before a March deadline.
It is extremely difficult when you have a president that you don't know where he is on any given day.
The White House says the president is all in on immigration.
A big priority for this administration is making sure we address this program in its entirety, not just that one piece of it.
Federal employees are relieved the shutdown is over.
I need the money for my bills.
Some bracing for another standoff.
We're going to be back to the same situation, which is ridiculous.
Crisis averted, but only for 3 weeks. This deal also extends children's health insurance for 6 years and temporarily gets rid of some taxes under the Affordable Care Act. In Washington, Tracy Potts, NBC26.
All right, thanks, Tracy. Still to come, the epidemic rages on as the flu continues making us sick. The urgent message doctors want you to know.
And calling it a career, Neil Diamond says he's retiring. His message to fans. Stay with us.